Hey everybody, I'm Kyle Larson, and you're watching the ACS.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me double shot of time!
Welcome to the Aflac Cup Series Season 9 playoffs for Race 2 of Round 1. Cam DeLuca took the checkered flag last weekend at Richmond. He's essentially locked in to Round 2. Can anybody join him tonight, specifically his teammate, Martin Truex Jr., who definitely needs this win and is on the pole for tonight's race. Now we're going to check out your drivers to watch for. For Nike, Chase Elliott has a lot of ground to make up after last week's crash at Richmond, but the sad thing is for Chase, Nike Motor Speedway has not been a good racetrack for Chase Elliott. Denny Hamlin, on the other hand, has a great history at Nike Motor Speedway, winning the first ever race hosted here. He needs a good rebounding race after last week's disappointing run, but this guy was not disappointing last week. That is Joey Logano. Had a great run at Richmond, almost won the race, and he's second in the points as we check out your Chase grid. Cam DeLuca's at the top. Then you see the bottom four: Kurt Busch, Chase Elliott, Truex, and Jimmie Johnson. Johnson is out by 19 points. He needs a big swing tonight. And Clint Bowyer, he's only +2. Now let's go trackside for the command. Drivers, start your engines. The drivers take the command, and they fire up those engines and roll off for 10 laps in Eugene, Oregon at Nike Motor Speedway. Now, for your starting lineup. On row 1, the pole, Martin Truex Jr. to his outside, Austin Dillon, Kevin Harvick and Ryan Blaney in row 2, and Jimmie Johnson and Clint Bowyer in row 3. Jimmy Alanya, last time we were here, he won, next to Cam DeLuca, and in row 5, Chase Elliott and Kyle Busch. Row 6, Joey Logano and Alex Bowman, and row 7 is Erik Jones and Brad Keselowski. Jamie McMurray to his outside, Denny Hamlin, and in row 9, Kyle Larson and Kurt Busch. Row 10, Paul Menard and Eric Almirola, and Daniel Suarez and Bubba Wallace in row 11. William Byron next to Carter Adelman in row 12, and in row 13 is Tyler Saponara and Chris Buescher. Row 14 is Max Kansas next to Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Michael McDowell and Michael Shelton in row 15. Ryan Newman and Ty Dillon in row 16, and row 17 AJ Allmendinger and Regan Smith. Bryce Harvey and David Reagan in row 18, and in row 19 Matt DiBenedetto and Sam McAllister. So race 2 of the playoffs is ready to get underway. The cars are on the track and ready to take the green flag. Here we go at Nike, 10 laps. Truex gets a great jump. This is exactly what Martin Truex Jr. needs to do today. Get out there and lead some laps, put himself back into the top 12 in the playoffs. Kevin Harvick holds down the second position over Jimmy Alanya. The Magi Motorsports driver ended up winning here in Season 8. And now he's going for second position on Kevin Harvick, and he'll grab that spot. Looks like this is a great racetrack for Jimmy Alanya. But he's got to catch that number 78 Bass Pro Shops Toyota. Oh, we got a pile up down the backstretch. Kurt Busch involved in Brad Keselowski as well. Caution on the racetrack for Brad Keselowski, Kurt Busch, Paul Menard, and Carter Adelman as they pile up into turn 3. Let's see exactly what happened here. Looks like Keselowski gets turned just a little bit by Kurt Busch, and around they go. Yeah, Paul Menard kind of squeezed Kurt Busch up into there. A bad 3-wide situation between Kurt Busch, Paul Menard, and Carter Adelman ends up getting Brad Keselowski turned, and you see Keselowski barely nicks that inside wall there. Almost was able to save it, but sadly, Keselowski's done, Kurt Busch is done, and Carter Adelman, who got pinched into the wall by Kurt Busch. So bad situation for Kurt Busch and Brad Keselowski, as a wreck in the playoffs will hurt them drastically. They're going to have a big comeback here. But Truex, he's out front. He looks to continue that race dominance. Green flag is back in the air. Oh, Kevin Harvick doesn't get going. He gets put into the inside wall, up into the front of the field, including second place points racer Joey Logano. Caution on the racetrack for Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano. Oh my goodness, Austin Dillon as well. Watch as Dillon gets involved in this one. Cam DeLuca, last week's winner, barely gets some contact in there. Probably has to tire down from contact on both sides from Logano and Dillon. But there's Harvick, just does not get going on the restart. Dillon looks to get to the inside. Harvick blocks. That's got to be all on Harvick there for blocking Austin Dillon. Dillon was just trying to make a pass to the inside. Yeah, Harvick just blocked him big time. Ended up costing Kevin Harvick dearly here in Nike. Drastic for Kevin Harvick in these playoffs. Is here another look as he comes right up in front of the field into Joey Logano. Logano's got a lot of damage. Dillon involved in this one as well. He's going to take it to the garage area. Same with Joey Logano. They're not even going to try to repair the machines. Camden Lucas he's on pit road repairing the car. Not too much damage on Camden Lucas' Toyota. So major problems for playoff drivers midway through Nike. But we'll see if that continues. Green flag, it's back in the air. Look at that restart for Martin Truex Jr. once again, taking off into the lead as there's Camden Lucas making some moves in the back of the pack. Here's Jimmie Johnson. He's on his way up to second. Oh, he's going to dive it on into turn one. Not going to stick for Jimmie Johnson. Truex has the momentum around the high side. Here comes Johnson once again trying to get to Truex's inside. He's working him over, and Johnson's going to clear Martin Truex Jr. At the beginning of the show, we discussed how Jimmie Johnson was 19 points below the cutoff line, and now here he is. Jimmie Johnson to the race lead at Nike. While Johnson is pulling away from Martin Truex Jr. as Kyle Busch is holding up Truex just a little bit. Kyle Busch going for that second position. Kyle Busch will grab that spot. Here comes Ryan Blaney as well to the inside of Kyle Busch. Blaney's trying to get into this. One lap to go. Blaney clears Kyle Busch. Jimmie Johnson leads. Down the back they go. Jimmie Johnson, the medicine he needed, and he's going to get it done tonight as Jimmie Johnson returns to victory lane in the Aflac Cup Series, winning at Nike. What a clutch performance by the two-time Aflac Cup Series champion, Jimmie Johnson. 19 below the cutoff line. Not a thing about it. Johnson, no worries. He's going to burn it down at the start-finish line. Johnson grabs the victory at one of his better racetracks. And he finally gets rid of his demons of not winning since Season 7. Now watch, here's Jimmie Johnson working over Martin Truex Jr. Truex using that momentum here, but Johnson, he's going to get to the inside of Truex, and that's all Johnson needed. He just needed that positioning going into turn one, and he's going to easily grab that race lead. Truex can do nothing about it as Johnson races off to victory. Now your point standings. After race 17, Camden Lucas still at the top. Jimmie Johnson right there. Blaney, Kyle Busch, Bowman, Hamlin, Eric Jones, Clint Bowyer. All double digits above that cutoff line. Eric Almirola, Chase Elliott, Joey Logano, Martin Truex Jr. There's Joey Logano, had the wreck today. He's just 2 points above Austin Dillon, Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski, and Kurt Busch. Keselowski and Kurt Busch both a lot of points behind Kevin Harvick. He's just 4 points behind the cutoff. Now here's your regular point standings of the drivers that did not make the playoffs. William Byron holding it down in 18th. Here's a 27th through 36th here. And your 37th through 42nd. So now your finishing results at the Nike 200. Jimmie Johnson with the victory over Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch, Truex, and Denny Hamlin. That was your top 5. Kyle Larson with a nice top 10 tonight. Jimmy Lanya 7th. Chase Elliott. Talk about him having a bad history here. He finishes 8th tonight. Not bad for Chase Elliott and that 9 team. And then there is William Byron. Daniel Suarez 11th and 12th. 21st through 30th here. Some solid finishes for some drivers who don't really show up into the top 30. And then 31st through 38th. Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano, Austin Dillon, Kurt Busch, and Brad Keselowski. 5 playoff drivers have trouble tonight. Not good for them. They're going to need to rebound next weekend at the Bay City Street Course, a new racetrack in the Aflac Cup Series. Excited to show that one off. We'll catch you next time. Thanks everybody for watching. This is JG24, JM26, signing out.